I've got to say I did play the first game around about a year ago and enjoyed it. Liked it when the talking gun was making fun of me at the start of the game where I kept on jumping around as the aliens were invading Earth, but I never got around to talk about it, and when High on Life 2 released, I downloaded it. However, I heard that it launched in a very buggy state, so I thought that I'll wait a bit, let them patch it so I can enjoy the game to the fullest, and I'm glad that I did because this game was a laugh. High on Life 2 is a sequel to the first game. It's a first-person comedy shooter where you use living talking alien guns. I felt like that this game was trying to be bigger, better and crazier than the original, and in my opinion it succeeded. This one definitely did make me chuckle more thanks to its sense of humour. You play as a celebrity bounty hunter who defeated the G3 in the first game, and the story continues from there. The game shows what happens afterwards with TV interviews, talk shows and even a dating show that highlights how famous the player has become. There is a character creation, sort of, with crayons and a colouring book, and I didn't think about what I was drawing at first because I thought that this was a one and done thing until I saw the wanted posters of my bad drawing later on. The campaign this time around is that Big Pharma, a pharmaceutical company, is trying to get the law overruled so humans can be treated as livestock to turn into pills, what makes aliens high. Pretty similar to the first game in that regards, nevertheless with a new twist that you're on the opposite side of the law this time around. I played on normal mode and this game gave me some challenge at the beginning while I was getting used to it, but once when I got comfortable with it, it wasn't really a challenge anymore. However, the tutorial eased me into the mechanics of the game at a nice pace, especially with the 80s skateboard. And I honestly wondered how I survived without it, because of how exciting this made the combat feel grinding on rails while taking out the enemy. The shooting is alright, but it's not on the level of most FPS shooters, yet they have improved over the original version and each gun still has a special ability that can also help solve environmental puzzles. There are also temporary weapons such as the Hammerbird, except my favourite's got to be the Flame Turtle. This thing was just so much fun.
Oh! Outlaw!
It's so interesting that they can burn things. They can kill them.
Cardholders have exclusive access to our lifeboats, which are located on the side of your deck. Pink line credit cards.
Get back or we'll burn you alive!
The main missions are simple: pick a target on a board and go after them. On the contrary, it does get weird at times, such as guiding a certain laser through a maze to solve its puzzle, to a murder mystery on the yacht, and then I'm at HumanCon where aliens dress up as humans. I just like the way how the game kept on changing things up from time to time, and there are some parts of the main game where it shows dialogue and the guns start chatting. I thought the hideout was an improvement from the last game, and you get your own shopkeeper where he has a falling out with his dad, so he's here to sell you weapons and upgrade and other items. I also like that there were arcade machines, especially with the claw machine, which I always found most addictive in games thanks to a certain game called Yakuza 0. Here it unlocks items for your room though, and there is sort of an open world that grows and unlocks new areas as you go through the campaign, and there are shops and side missions to find in this hub world, along with wanted posters that can be removed by defeating the enemies that are guarding them. Once when the enemies are defeated, you can take down the poster and receive cash as a reward. Except the beach has to be my favourite place because this is where you get to meet Travis and the whole night just goes batshit crazy. There are cool stages, and the one that stuck out for me the most was this polygon stage, and I just thought this looks like an N64 graphics style game, and then it actually said in the game, this looks like N64 graphics. And it brought back some old school platform jump into it as well. And there's also this hovering character who's done something really bizarre in the past, and everyone seems to hate him, but it's never spells it out of what he did. What made me even more curious of what did he do? And please tell me that Tamagotchis aren't back. I actually owned a few of these when I was a little shit, but not by the cyber pet little thing what you got to feed. I was hiding them in the couches and vases just to annoy my parents and find it hilarious when they were swearing trying to find the thing. I thought that the enemy variety was alright with some interesting designs, although I was surprised by how creatively weird the bosses are. From the one that miniaturises itself and ends up going inside your suit and messing with the menus and bio settings, what did make me laugh, to a wizard, and then I was fighting a mutated centipede human. And it just got weirder from there. And there's a talking scientist dolphin in a mechanical suit. I was just speechless at this point by how imaginative these bosses are.
Shock therapy! Ow! Fuck!
The star of the show to me are the talking guns. I felt like they were well done with the comments that they make throughout the game, with each one having their own personality. And the ones that I ended up liking the most is Gus, Creature, and the two married couple. And the Salome gun was the most powerful gun in the original game, where it's always saying, "Let's do it!" and sort of makes a return, and had a really good reason why they're not in your arsenal of weaponry anymore. Because he's your mum's new partner.
Told your mom we're coming by, right?
Honey, what are you...
Oh, sick.
Let's do it!
Honey, I'm so sorry. I was going to tell you.
There seem to be actors that I've heard before, where there's this boss that sounds a lot like Tuttle out of American Dad,
Just surrender yourself. We'll go easy on you. You're a human. Your brain is too small. It's not your fault. You don't even know what you're doing.
or the gun's voice that I've heard somewhere before, and it just drives me crazy that I can't remember where it's from. Apart from that, the voice acting is superb across the board. For the graphics, I found them really well done, with a sort of 3D cartoonish feel that added a lot of personality to the game, where there are some sites where I had to stop just to take in a view. For how long the game is, I've spent around about 19 hours and I could easily have stayed a lot longer. Now there are weird bugs that I've encountered, such as flying enemies, frames stuttering, and some pixelated shadow pop-ins, and I've got 2 game crashes. Although lucky enough the game had a good checkpoint system. So in the end, I thought High on Life 2 is a wacky, weird, enjoyable game, and I would definitely recommend it. So have you played it? What do you think of it? Leave it in the comments below. Until next game, I'm off. And enjoy the N64 graphics again.